Tonight's teardown is ably assisted by Fort Garry Brewing's Dark English Mild Ale. They describe it as a chestnut-colored English mild ale with caramel coffee and chocolate flavors and a balanced hop finish. And yeah, this is one of the first craft beers in this area, and I've been drinking it for years, and it is really, really nice. So, tonight, I am going to be messing with this little charger here that I got in a mailbag not that long ago. It calls itself Quick Charge 3.0, but I don't think it is a quick charge, a QC quick charge charger. On the business end here, it's got 4 brightly colored plugs, and they all claim to be 3.1 amp. I am skeptical. What other claims does it make? It's input voltage between 110 and 240 volts, 50-60 hertz. That's very typical, half an amp. Okay. Output 5 volts DC, 3.5 amps max times 4. I am skeptical that there's 3.5 amps times 4 comes out of this, or even 3.1 amps times 4 comes out of this. I would be surprised if it could even do 3 amps total spread across the 4 of them. And of all the bogus claims, that's probably going to be the easiest one to test. Where is all my things? So yeah, let's just play with it and see what happens. Plug into one of those. Doesn't matter which one for this. Plug in my load, turn it on, and see what it says. Okay, so right now it is just idling. It's got half an amp. It is providing 5 volts, 5.05. That's cool. I'm going to start cranking up the load, and you'll see that going up. Place your bets as to where this thing falls apart. As I've already said, it's probably not going to make it to 3 amps. At least that's my bet anyway. I'm thinking probably closer to 2 because that's much more common in this type of power supplies. There's 1.5 amps and it's still holding. Cool. 1.6, 1.7, still holding. I'm impressed. Oh, starting to drop off. Where does it just leave 5 volts? Let's crank it back up here. Right there, just above 1.8 amps. Okay. And it craters. Wow. So not even 2 amps. That's even worse than I thought. Okay, we'll crank that back down. And we'll try something else. Let's see if it can... I'm going to guess that 2 amps is spread across all of them. So I am going to bring in another USB load. This is just a fixed 1 amp or 2 amp load. I'll throw that into there. I'll plug this guy in at the other end. If I get the USB the right way up. This thing is drawing currently 150 milliamps. So let's crank it up and watch and see what happens. Half an amp, so that's 1.5 total, 1.6 total. And the voltage isn't cratered yet. 1.7. Oh, we're starting to lose it. Yeah, there we go. So that's basically the same. That's more or less 2 amps across a couple of different outputs, and the voltage is already starting to drop off. So there's no way this thing is capable of 3 amps across all 4, even 3 amps across any one of them. So already it's horribly lying to me. Shall we see if it's got any circuitry inside that's interesting at all, or is it going to be just a cheap little module? That's my bet. So how do we get into this thing? There doesn't look like there's any screw holes or anything, so we are up for a spudging good time. Can I get into there without hurting myself? Doesn't look like there's any gaps or anything. Right. I'll just give it a little bit of stress along the glue line with the plumber's friends here. There. That feels nice and crunchy. Now can I get in there? Still no. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have to throw all my spudgers at it again. Where's those other ones? Something like this, maybe. Oh, there we go. Just need a little bit of abuse. Oh, wow. So the AC input just kind of prongs into here. All right. Yeah. So all I'm seeing on here is a fairly standard switch mode power supply. We have one side of the AC line going to a bridge rectifier. We have the other side of the AC line going through this little low value resistor, probably a fusible resistor, to the other side of the bridge rectifier, the DC output from that. One side, what looks like it goes into this chip. This capacitor is across there, smoothing it out a little bit. Yeah, we have a gap between the high voltage, the AC side, and the low voltage side. That makes a certain amount of sense, and that goes right underneath this transformer. We have the diode over there coming right off the transformer, jumping into these pads over here. Wow. That is a smoothing on the outside. Is there anything? Okay, so there's just this little class. Is that even? So this little capacitor down here, according to the silkscreen, claims to be a class Y, but there's no markings at all on that little capacitor. It's supposed to provide a little drain back, but yeah, there's nothing there. I don't see any feedback components on this thing jumping the gap to tell this guy, so it's not even very well regulated. On the output side, there's only two little resistors, that diode, that capacitor, and that LED in there. So, how would I assess this? It's crap, basically. They've made a slight effort at putting a gap in there, but the weak spot's probably going to be in the windings of that transformer, and I don't have the patience to tear it apart. It does the job. It's not going to be the smoothest of output, and if I was to put the scope on it as the current was getting up, I would bet that it would start getting out of regulation pretty quickly. So yeah, it looks interesting and colorful, but definitely rated do not buy. It certainly doesn't live up to its promises. It doesn't have the brains inside it to do the quick charge modes. I didn't even bother testing that because there's just no point. Suppose I could try and look up the part number on that thing, but I don't hold out much hope that I'm going to find anything. If you want to try it yourself, it's a C5783, and there's some other numbers down there. I think that's 2725A. I don't know, I'll take a look and see if I can find anything, but like I said, I'm not holding out much hope. Yeah, that one didn't come up with anything. This is not at all that. It's just a transistor. Other set of numbers came up with, again, just nothing in particular that's relevant. Oh well, it was worth a shot, I suppose. So yeah, absolutely nothing surprising in this one except for just how much it was lying to us. So if you see something like this for sale, don't get suckered in by the promises of, 4 times 3.1 amps or quick charging or the fancy colored USB jacks. It is just a basic, cheap, less than 2 amp USB power supply. Not much else to say about it. I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised. That's exactly what I expected it to be. But, you've always got that 1% hope that it might be something good. But there you go. I wasted my money, so you don't have to waste yours. That's kind of what I do around here on a lot of these things. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was a quick one. I will be back next week and talk to you later.